Hey, Coach. How's this adjustment been for the team this week without Coach Smith being able to attend these practices?
Well, obviously it's an adjustment, but Kyle has stayed really involved. I mean, he talks to the guys before practice, after practice, talks to us multiple times a day. So um, he has stayed really, really involved. And so, though it's an adjustment, I think it's been uh, minimized a lot by just how much involvement he still has.
With the struggles coming from the football program as of late, how's this team been trying to remain healthy for this week's two home games?
Well, the biggest thing you can do is, besides the testing protocol which is in place, is just keep reminding guys that this is a very, very unusual time, and right now being able to play it all is a blessing, and don't do anything to compromise that.
Do we have much of an idea on the starting lineup this Friday or this Wednesday?
No, we'll announce something tomorrow. I mean, Isaac will start, Bonton, and then we're pretty much figuring everything else out. We have a couple minor injuries too that are still playing themselves out, so we won't announce anything on that till tomorrow.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Jamie Vinnick from Kook Fan. Go ahead, Jamie.
Hey, Coach. As a coach for the team, what is kind of some of the things you're most excited to see in Wednesday's first game?
Just an opportunity to play against somebody else, and then because we have so many young guys, just them to have an opportunity to play a game and get that first game jitters and all the things that come with that out of the way.
Obviously, with it being such a unique year and guys at this point not losing eligibility, do you see that as an opportunity to get some of the younger guys more playing time without the worry of them burning a red shirt?
Well, it's certainly an advantage for them. Now, with Jefferson his shoulder, he's out with that, and we got a couple other things. But yes, it's a huge advantage for guys to have a freshman year where they can participate and not have to worry about, or we don't have to worry about, are they getting enough minutes? Should we be redshirting them? So it just takes something. It's a stressor off your mind as a coach for sure.
And then what are kind of some of the things you guys are really looking to improve upon just from the get-go?
Well, I think that Kyle's put a huge emphasis on being better in the half court offense. He just wants us to be a better half court offensive team, and how that'll play itself out, it's hard to say. I mean, Portland has a pretty good offensive player on their team that was here last year, so we'll have to see how it plays out. But we definitely spent a lot more time working on our half court offense than we did this time last year.
Great, thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
All right, Steve Cameron, go ahead. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, Coach, how would you work out a rotation going along in terms of time frame? You know, by mid-season, by conference season, is that about when you hope to have a rotation?
Well, that's kind of a tricky question that we have league games next week. And I certainly don't think we'll have our rotation etched in stone by then. But I think for sure by the time you go into Christmas, you want to have your rotation pretty well set.
Do you have another one, Steve?
Yes, I wanted to ask about the freshmen and who has been, just standing out to where it's obvious that they're going to play a big part right from the start.
Well, I would say that kind of has in flux a little bit. Early on, initially, I would have said Jefferson, partly because of our depth and how thin we are in the backcourt, and then FA because of his unique athleticism. But with Jefferson out, obviously he's eliminated from that question. FA for sure will have a major impact, and he'll have certainly moments where you could tell he's a little bit raw, but his athleticism is unique enough to us and for us that he'll definitely have a significant role. And then I think as the year goes along, Andre and TJ both will be guys that play quite a bit.
Theo Lawson from the Spokesman Review. Go ahead, Theo.
Hey Jim, does anything change logistically without Kyle there as far as your kind of duties on the sideline and anything you'll do differently than you would during a normal game, I guess?
No, I mean, fortunately, I've been a head coach. I've coached a lot of games, so you have to be who you are. And the biggest difference is it's not the exact same system that we utilized where I was at before. So you use your own personality, and it's like being a substitute teacher. You want to make sure that their lesson plans get executed as well as possible.
Will he have a chance to talk to the team at halftime or anything like that, or make any adjustments mid-game watching from home, or
somehow I think he'll find a way, because like I said, the amount of Zoom time, we've talked to him more since he's been gone than we did when he was here. So.
Does it sound like he'll be back for the Eastern Washington game, or is that still kind of in the air?
That's something that is outside my lane, so therefore I'm not sure. All the different protocols and guidelines that are being done by the people around above me and in the medical field will decide that. I think he feels pretty well. For sure, he's very active on the Zoom and stuff.
How many times per day does he text you or call you to get a message in, or tell you guys how to do something in practice, or anything like that you can share?
With me, it's not that much different, but with Anthony Lorenzo, I think Anthony hears from him a lot. We were laughing. Saturday we were having a little inter-squad scrimmage, and Anthony said, I finally had to turn my phone off because somehow coach is watching the scrimmage on Zoom and texting Anthony 10 or 12 times. And so we all hear from him on a pretty regular basis. And I think Anthony really hears from him a lot.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You bet. You're welcome.
All right. Any other questions for Coach Shaw? Please raise your hand and we'll call on you. So questions for Coach Shaw? All right. Back to Ryan Root. Go ahead, Ryan.
So I was just wanting to ask, Jazz mentioned you said something to the team on Friday about cats living in the house and dogs out in the streets, and we have to be dogs. Do you maybe want to explain that mentality a little bit?
Well, I think, and I don't know exactly what Jazz said, it's just in a competition, it's a different mindset than what it is if you're in the store shopping for groceries, or if you're going about something in your daily basis and routine. So for that window of time, be it 2 hours if it's a practice or 40 minutes if it's a game, you have to have a different mindset. For some people, it's not far from their normal mindset. And for some people, it's a little bit further. But collectively, you have to come up with, and you have to have a competitive mindset, a team identity, and it is a competition. So therefore, you have to harden up certain edges in order to be effective.
And Jazz also brought up how the practices have been nothing but competitive, and everyone seems to have an explosiveness to them in practice. Has that kind of increased up until Wednesday's game?
I didn't hear that one very well. Could you please repeat that?
Just the competitiveness in practice. Would you say that that's increased dramatically with the game coming up this Wednesday?
Oh, a little bit. I wouldn't say dramatically, but yeah, I would say a little bit.